What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we are going to be covering everything that has to do with NFL honors, who's most likely to win this award, that award, all of that stuff, combined with our preparations and our investment guide. Really, for NFL honors, there's some cards I am investing in, some cards I am not. But let's hop right into things. We're going to start with the odds. Now, if you don't understand gambling odds, pretty much the minus and the bigger the number with the minus in front of it means they are more likely to win. Aaron Rodgers is minus 400 to win NFL MVP. So that means if you were to bet $40, you would have to bet $40 to win $10. You would have to bet $400 to win $100. The bigger the number with the minus in front of it means they are more likely to win. So Aaron Rodgers, pretty much a lock to win the MVP. NFL Offensive Player of the Year, though, is a very tight race. These odds are, by the way, from about, I think, 5 or 6 days ago, which they wouldn't have changed because it is a regular season award. Cooper Kupp, minus 110, and then Jonathan Taylor, also minus 110. Basically, it's a 50-50 coin flip. If I had to guess, I think it's going to be Cooper Kupp. Probably going to be some sort of situation where if Cooper Kupp wins the Offensive Player of the Year, JT will win the NFL Fantasy Player of the Year, and vice versa if JT were to win Offensive Player of the Year. For Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt, I think, is at minus, I want to say it's 350 or 550. It's not a great number on my screen, but more than likely going to win the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. For the Offensive Rookie of the Year, this was originally a race that was being won by Mac Jones, but as kind of Mac Jones tailed off towards the end of the year and the Bengals were better and better and better throughout the regular season, Jamar Chase now is at minus 250. So Mac Jones still has a chance, but I think Jamar Chase, especially with how he performed, I guess you would say in the playoffs as well as in the end of the regular season, like the Chiefs game, he's probably going to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year is pretty obvious. Micah Parsons at minus 10,000. I think you have to bet $1,000 to win 10, something crazy like that. That is as close of a lock as you can get Micah Parsons to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then NFL Comeback Player of the Year is pretty much a 50-50 in my opinion between Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow. Dak Prescott right now the favorite, but not by much. He's only at minus 140, which is very close to just being even with Joe Burrow. So either of those two can win that award. And then we also do have the NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year, but that of course is not going to be a black and white who's going to win. I'll go through some of the players I have on the screen now. There's a one player nominated for each team, but there's no real, I don't really even understand the voting process. It's pretty much just, I think there's 3 finalists that we get announced a couple days before and they announce it, but some notable names: Kenny Moore, you see Justin Reed, Aaron Jones. I know Tyrann Mathieu won the kind of fan charity challenge that went through on social media. Tyler Lockett, Derrick Henry actually is for the Titans. So if you can somehow guess the right player to win that award, you will probably be making a lot of coins, but it's very, very hard, so I'm not really going to get into it. The NFL Honors timeline, if you are curious about it: February 10th is the NFL Honors Award Show, and then the cards are typically released during the week following the Super Bowl. So that would be February 14th, the Monday, to February 21st, the following Monday. That's how they did the awards and the cards last year. I expect the same thing to be this year. The card's probably going to be 98 overall, maybe 99 for MVP, but we're going to have to see. All right, now we're going to be hopping in really into the investment section of this video. And when it comes down to investing in these honors cards, it's actually a little bit different. This is the first kind of huge kind of promo, I would say, where I'm not investing in a lot of cards. And why is that the case? Well, we always talk about cards being affordable and attainable for the common nut player, whereas these LTD NFL honors cards, like you see Aaron Rodgers on the screen at absurd prices from last year. G-Minus World had a video on it. The prices for these cards are just absurd. They are easily, I think the cheapest card probably last year would have gone for probably 400, 500k, but the best investments we've had throughout this year have actually been on hero cards in promos, where the cards were able to get through end caps, through solos, through sets, just easily obtainable cards like the Denzel Ward in Harvest, like Mark Andrews in Harvest. Basically, the heroes and the cheaper cards throughout the entire year have been some of the best investments, while these cards are going to be very, very expensive. So now we're going to hop in to each and every kind of card and my kind of assessment on their investment wise. So for NFL MVP, most likely going to be Aaron Rodgers. When he gets a card, probably going to be the best quarterback in the game because of his release. He'll be able to get Gunslinger or Escape Artist. But Aaron Rodgers is a little bit tricky because his card will be probably over, I'd have to say, 800k at minimum. And of course, his 92 Gridiron Guardian, the Gridiron Guardian champion set, like Jalen Ramsey, gives that 92 Aaron Rodgers a card plus his power-up back, which means the cards can't go. Again, we want people to be able, a lot of people to be able to afford, be able to want to power up Aaron Rodgers, whereas if his card is over 1 million coins, not everyone can afford that, so that's not good for our investment. The only investment I'm making on Aaron Rodgers is sort of the core elite. If you can get the core elite under 10,000, that's not bad. But again, I'm planning on selling these cards or these NFL Honors investments on the actual night they get revealed, or even the minutes kind of leading up to the reveal on the NFL Awards show. Because again, these cards have started to already been invested in over the course of the past few weeks. People are storing these cards, anticipating them to get a card and anticipating them to go up in price. Whereas, well, the price has already gone up. You can see with Cooper Kupp, his 93 overall 2 weeks ago, I believe, was about 85K leading up to Team of the Year. Now it's upwards of 120. It was 150K last I think it was last week after the Rams made it to the Super Bowl last day, whatever I'm trying to say. Pretty much what I'm trying to say, these cards are already inflated. I can't see these cards going up too much, whereas their LTDs are so expensive. I mean, who actually is going to be able to afford most of these players? It's really going to be a pick and choose situation. I just can't see Cooper Kupp Team of the Week going from 120K to 200K. I think he just settles, along with people probably over investing in a majority of these cards. I'm just not crazy on some of these investments. Cooper Kupp, it's not bad, but his core elite and power up are already inflated. JT, his core elite and power up are very cheap, but again, his 92 is already 90,000 coins. If you can get it, I'd say for under like 70K, you could be safe. The 94 is 143. That's not too bad for the training value of a 94, but probably under 130 if you want to be a little aggressive when it comes to these investments. But I don't see the profit in these, especially when people are going to have like pretty much 2 weeks to prep and store these players that are pretty much locks to get cards, and I expect them to, on announcement, when they actually get released in the game, people to just flood these cards in the market. And who's actually going to be buying these cards when there's probably not going to be more than 5 to 10 of their LTDs on the block at a current time? TJ Watt, one of the perfect examples of a card already inflated. His 87 overall, about 20,000. His power, about 10,000 coins. And 87 on the market right now goes for, I think, about, I want to say 13,000 coins, or no, like 14,000 coins lazy buyer. So it's already up like 6 to 7K. If you can get TJ Watt under like 17, 16, it's okay. You gotta understand though, when these cards get put in the game, the TJ Watt, the people have been storing like 50 TJ Watts because they think he's going to get a card, they think it's going to affect his price. They're just going to be flooded onto the market like you saw with Team of the Year. Team of the Year wasn't as bad because those cards are, I would say, affordable for their overalls, like 200K, 300K. These cards, TJ Watt is going to probably be 500, 600K if I had to guess for a 97, 98 overall outside linebacker, and it just doesn't seem like a lot of people are going to be able to want and afford those cards. Like, want, yes. Afford, no. Micah Parsons, this is like the one card I'm just not even touching, because if you want to power up Micah Parsons' Defensive Rookie of the Year card, you're going to need his Ghost of Madden, which right now goes for 850,000 coins. It probably is going to be over 2 million, even with training, probably 2.5 million to power up the full Micah Parsons, which to me is absurd. No one, unless they are just stupid or rich, like even me, is really questioning whether I actually want to power up Micah Parsons because it's just such an expensive card. If you can pick the power up for under 3,000 coins, I'd say go for it. The Harvest card, again, 60,000 coins, and 90 overall in the market goes for like 30K right now. So if you can pick it up under 40K, I guess you can buy it, but I just don't see the ceiling for these cards where some of the most expensive cards this year, like OBJ, I'd say, Randy Gregory, when they got cards, they got their LTD Team of the Weeks. Most feared OBJ went from like 12,000 coins to 25,000 coins, and then it just came right back down to 15K because no one could really afford it. For the common MUT player, cannot afford it. Jamar Chase, though, is actually the one card that I am interested in investing in, because if you actually look at his 92 overall card, and when he gets that Offensive Rookie of the Year, or maybe even a Super Bowl MVP, his card is probably going to be maybe the most expensive honors card to come out other than Aaron Rodgers, because the hype, the popularity around Jamar Chase. He will have great speed. He has good height at 6 foot, good route running. Of course, his archetype is the best, but Jamar Chase, and the unique thing about Jamar Chase, unlike the other cards, and we know how we like reduxes when it comes to investing, is he has a card or the pieces going into his power up, or I would say very rare, being the Redux and the Blitz. If you can pick up the Redux and the Blitz, I'd say under 140, it's safe. But again, this card was 100K last week. After the Bengals won the AFC Championship, it is shopped about 200K. So that's where the profit was buying for 100 and selling for 180, 190. I actually sold my Jamar Chase for 190 yesterday after buying it for 110. I just don't see, I think the prices have already risen to the point where that's where the profit was. I don't see much profit now with the inflated prices. Dak Prescott, though, this one is also very interesting. If he wins Comeback Player of the Year, I think most people are assuming Joe Burrow is going to win, but Dak Prescott is the odds-on favorite. In his 92 overall Harvest All-Star, I don't know if there will be a training bypass if Dak does end up winning the award and you can training bypass this 92. But this is the best thing when it comes to investing because you can't even get this 92 overall card anymore. It hasn't been redux. The only chance you had of getting it, I think, was through the harvest sets at the time, but I don't think there's a harvest set to get this card anymore. So it's pretty much whatever is on the market is on the market. There is no more added supply. So if you can pick up this 92 overall, I'd say for under 85k, that's probably worth the risk. Like, that's probably the best investment, even though he might not even win an award. I think that's worth the risk of buying for 85k. Whereas even if he doesn't get the award, it probably still stays pretty expensive because it is an uber rare card, 92 overall Dak Prescott. And then finally, Joe Burrow. Again, his price is already inflated, right? His 91 went from 40k to 70k. His 90, I want to say his 96 team of the week went from about like 280, 290 up to 350. I just don't really see, like, the profit already happened. The rise of these cards already occurred when the Bengals won the AFC Championship. I can't see these cards going for too much. I'd say Joe Burrow 91 Rising Star is getting removed when they refresh the Rising Star reroll tomorrow. So he will be out of that role, which makes it a little bit more of a, I like it a little bit more as an investment, but it's like gotta be in the mid 50s for me to buy, and I just can't really see that price being hit with the Bengals now in the Super Bowl. So I think you can see now from pretty much going through all the potential AP or NFL Honors cards, I'm not too crazy about investing in these cards. They're already, I would not say overpriced, but inflated to the point where if you buy at that inflated price, the profit isn't going to be crazy. I'd say Dak Prescott 92 is worth the risk under 85k. If you could Jamar Chase for under 140, I think that's a solid investment. Again, these cards going to be overly expensive, them being some of the most popular players in the NFL, them being an LTD and a super high overall. I just can't see their baby pieces going for crazy amounts when their prices of the LTDs are going for crazy amounts. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from as an investment standpoint. I do think there is a window to pretty much buy, like right now at these inflated prices if you want, and then selling right before the NFL awards show or right when they get announced as winning an award, and you maybe get some players that are panicking and buying their baby pieces. But I think in the long run, if you miss that window, you're pretty much just going to be left in the not really losing coins, but they'll just probably stay the same. Not really a decent investment. But of course, my opinion can all change. Maybe you guys can change my opinion in the comments below. But again, like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, comment for us if you have any questions or an opinion on these AP cards. Link to Discord as always is in the description. And until tomorrow, peace.